Mono is a Necromundan hive scummer who works the great ash gates of Port Mad Dog when he is not hiring out his services as a mercenary to anyone willing to pay him. His life was quite different before, however, as Mono was born into the Longshore clans who live short, brutal lives on Necromunda's surface. Growing up on the edges of the Palatine cluster hives also compounded his low status as their distant spires taunted Mono with the promise of safety and wealth. His fate suddenly changed though when a scabby trader sold him a strange one-eyed hood which turned out to be an ancient Stratopilot helmet. When he put it on, Mono discovered the helmet's oculus auger gave him a unique view of the world and amazing physical reactions as a result. He soon found a new path in life while wearing it, after he carved up a bar full of drunken magline dusters with his grab hook, and in the fight's bloody aftermath, he realised that he had a talent for mayhem. Mono then put the word out as he was looking for extra work, and quickly made a name for himself by bringing down Three Toes Jack during the Rust Falls uprising, and running with the Sump City Sirens during their takeover of the Delta Zone dust wells. Despite his success though, Mono always returns to Port Mad Dog, for as the Longshore clanners always say, blood is thicker than ash. Hello children, and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and this is the series where I give you bite-sized videos of every dramatis personae and special character in the game of Necromunda to date. This one's a good one, Mad Dog Mono, but before I get into it, please do like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon as well to keep me doing more of these types of videos. But Mad Dog Mono, this one was one of the earlier releases in Necromunda in terms of the rules and the miniature. Let's look at the miniature quickly though. This is one of my favourites. I believe it comes in a 3-pack with Yolanda Scorn and I want to say Grub Targarson. Could be wrong there, but I got that pack early on, and I've got to say Mad Dog Mono is one of my favourite models in the whole Necromunda Forge World range to date. I really do like this one. Fantastic looking miniature with a sort of like boilerplate on with lots and lots of pouches, some interesting stuff going on. I particularly like the shoulder pad actually. We've got a pole arm on there which is quite unusual. It's an unusual weapon in general actually, but it's an unusual looking weapon as well, and a stub gun pointing out the front there with some long sort of like oven gloves on of some kind. I don't know, they're almost like the corpse grinder gloves that you have in the corpse delegation. But Mad Dog Mono, some cool lore there. This guy's only 90 credits. He's one of the cheaper scum. 90 credits is pretty great. I've used him in quite a few games actually because we use the Goonhammer, shout out to Goonhammer bounty system. Mad Dog Mono is a sort of tier 3 scummer, so he comes up quite a bit. He's usually available to buy, and he's okay. He's okay. For 90 credits, he's not that bad at all. His stats are as follows. He's movement 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 4, so better at fighting than he is at shooting. Strength and toughness 3, average, only 1 wound, only 1 attack, and 3 up initiative, slightly better than average. In terms of the mental stats, like your typical scummer really, except we have a call of 7+ instead of 8+. The others are all 8+, leadership, willpower, and intelligence respectively. In terms of skills though, he comes with dodge and escape artist, which are pretty cool. Escape artist, I believe, gets you out of close combat a bit easier, and we've also got dodge, which is a 6+ invuln, always nice to have that one, can get you out of some scrapes every now and then. Stub gun and a grab hook, which is a versatile close combat weapon. Doesn't dish out a lot of damage, but it's versatile, which is always really nice to have, meaning that you can usually stop yourself from getting retaliation attacks if you use that versatile range. Furnace plates, which boilerplate armor, and a respirator. So furnace plates obviously from your front arc are a 5+ save, from the back I believe is 6, something like that, and a respirator, which is always nice to have. But there's not much more to talk about with Mad Dog Mono. He's very simple. He's basically just a slightly better hive scum for 90 credits. But having dodge I think is quite nice, and just having a versatile weapon there thrown in is quite handy too. He's probably worth the 90 credits just about. But again, if you do use that bounty system that I mentioned earlier, then he's probably going to crop up a few times. However, I do think there are some better tier 3 or lower tier scummers than Mad Dog Mono, particularly Grub Targarson, as I mentioned before. I quite like Grub. Grub is pretty good. Anyway, I definitely recommend getting the miniature from Forge World because it is a really nice one. You could just use him as a scum in an outcast gang. In fact, you could do that with most of the Forge World miniatures, to be honest. You could make a whole gang out of just Forge World stuff if you wanted to remortgage your house, maybe, because they certainly aren't cheap. Anyway, that's Mad Dog Mono. I will be back with the next one real soon. Peace out.